and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Real Men of Real Estate. The one is hosted by me, Thomas F Chappell Jr. We're looking to have a real good show. I'm excited for my guest here. My guest here is a female that's in the industry, and it was a way to close out Women's Month. So this is just one of those exciting things. This young lady is a part of my real estate investment club, which is called the Black Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club. You can find me on Meetup, or you can go to my website, which is BIEREIC.com, and be a part of it and just come have fun. The young lady that's going to be talking with me today, her name is Dafina Miller, and I would like to introduce her at this point. So how you doing, Dafina?
Good. Thank you for having me.
You're quite welcome. So you are very amazing at what you do. I mean, when I met you 4 years ago, you and your husband, you was just zipping all over the world, and I'm like, when did she find time to sleep, man? So it was like, wow. So won't you give the audience a little bit about your background, who you are you, where you from, you born and bred, and things like that?
I am born and bred here in Southern California. I grew up in Watts.
Wow. Go ahead.
Watts life. I grew up in Watts, right down the street from Jordan Downs Projects.
Okay.
And I went to school, primary school on the east side. I went to middle school and high school on the west side, West LA.
Okay.
Go Uni. And life happened during my senior year. I was a teen parent.
Okay.
So, reality kicked in real fast for me, and I had to grow up because I had to take care of this little person. So I've had, jobs everywhere, doing everything from call centers to healthcare. I've worked in healthcare for a number of years.
What did you specialize in?
I worked as an ER tech.
Okay.
So whatever was coming through the door, whatever traumatic situations, you had to be ready.
Okay.
So, and I loved it. But I pivoted to real estate because I had a work-related injury that left me with a disability.
Okay.
So I wasn't able to perform in that role. So I had to figure out, oh God, what am I going to do to provide a living for myself if I can't do what I love? So I started looking at options. I actually went and got like my notary commission because I figured, okay, I can do loan signings. And then I was like, well, that's not enough. So then I pursued my real estate license. So I got my real estate license in Nevada, and I was like, okay.
So wait a minute, hold on. How did you get your real estate license in Nevada, but you live in California? Explain that.
Well, let me rewind the tape a little bit. In 2005, I did purchase a new home in Nevada. So my husband, or ex-husband now, but my husband at the time, we actually moved from Southern California and we moved to Vegas.
Okay.
So, we purchased a home, and that's how I ended up in Nevada. I know. So, and life happened, that marriage ended, I remarried, and that's what brought me back to California.
Okay. So you went and got your license in Nevada. So
Yes.
as far as you working in Nevada, what sparked you to get your license in Nevada?
Well, I got hurt at work. So if I didn't know if I was going to lose my job, how I would be able to provide for my family. So I had to find something to do.
So was the Nevada market what you expected, or it wasn't?
It was hot. So, and it's been pretty fluid. So, yeah.
Okay, so now you're back at California.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you shift getting your license here, or how did that work?
Not the real estate license. So when I knew that I would be transitioning to come back to Southern California, I said, well, I don't want to do real estate there because of the traffic situation here. And we know that it takes like an hour and a half to go about 8 miles down the street in LA.
Depending on which freeway you on.
Well, yeah. And depending on what time of day you're traveling. So just a number of different factors. So I just said, nah, I don't want to deal with that rat race. So I had actually started prepping myself while I was in Nevada to come back. I started studying for my lending license or the NMLS license, and I did not pass the first time around. It's okay. Everybody deserves a second chance, but second time around, but I just kind of winged it. I really didn't study much. I thought I could just walk in there and me
just like
being
most
me.
people do.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So life was like, nope. But I was really close to passing, but, I gave myself another 30 days because you have to wait 30 days in between attempts. So I gave myself 30 days to really just hone in on it. And I was successful, but trust me, my heart was pounding because that little clock is spinning. And before you get up from that computer, whether or not you pass. So I passed and I was like, wow. So, and then I said, okay, well, that was the easy part. Now the hard part is next. So then you have to decide, okay, well, what company do you want to be a part of? So prior to moving back, I had actually met with, different companies to see if it would be a good fit. And there were some that were actually in LA County, but too far. I knew I wasn't moving back, to LA. I was going to be stationed inland, so I didn't want to deal with that commute. So I was looking for companies that were closer to home for me because we have children, and I wanted to be able to, if there's an emergency or if the kids, need one of us, that I could be available for them.
So for those who might not understand mortgage lending, help us to understand what mortgage lending is and how would it work for an individual, whether it's a client or someone that wants to get into the industry?
So we are pretty much the money people. Before you meet with your real estate agent, you need to get with the money people to find out how much house you could qualify for. So we'll ask you to submit all these documents, income, tax information, your assets. We'll look at your liabilities. We will look at your entire picture. Of course, we'll run your credit. And once we go through a process and we verify all the information that people submit, then we could approve them or get an approval for how much house they'd be able to purchase.
So if someone come to you with insufficient credit score, how do you work with them, or what's the process for them to be able to get a loan to get a home?
So every case is different. There have been no two cases that have been the same. We will just sit down and put together a plan, for their situation. If they have high balances on accounts, maybe we could work out a way for them to pay it down after so long, and then maybe we can go back and look at credit to see if it's strong enough for us to get an approval.
Now,
later on.
We know that some time ago they had a thing called predatory lending, and a lot of people wasn't able, they was qualifying, but as far as finance is concerned, their debt income ratio wasn't sufficient for them to keep the home after they got it. So helping people to understand the significance of making sure that their credit is substantial so they can be able to afford a home versus staying in an apartment. Explain that.
Sorry. I'm a little goofy, and that was long and drawn out. So can you please repeat that?
Okay. Here's the thing. I know a lot of people that are looking for homes.
Right.
And financially, their debt income ratio doesn't qualify them for. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people want something right now. So understanding what's the purpose of them having a substantial credit score and how would they be able to obtain that so they can be able to profit from getting homes?
Yeah, the stronger the credit, the greater the assets, the less the liability, the stronger the chance people have in order to be able to qualify for a home loan. Once everything has to just make sense. So you don't want to have an income where, you're paying 80% or 90% of your living expenses, or 80% of your income to cover your living expenses. So everything just has to make sense.
Okay. So in 2008, when the market crashed, how was the lending industry then?
I was not in the field at that time.
Okay. Okay.
I was not in the field at that time, and but during that time, life was happening for me. So yeah, I had to make some moves and make some
Okay.
decisions.
So besides doing mortgage lending, what else have you done?
So besides healthcare, and I'm actually like an active notary, so I'm a signing agent.
Okay.
I do closings. So when people are ready to sign closing documents, when they've gone through the process to purchase their properties, or if they have refinanced their properties, well, I'm the girl that sits across the table from them, and I walk them through their documents, collect signatures, have them sign, date, and initial. And I return documents back to either the escrow or title companies that contract me. So, and with that, I go everywhere.
Well, we know that right now. For those who don't know, I met Dafina, her husband, about 4 years ago, and this young lady was driving from Sacramento to San Diego. That's how serious it was. So you are a mobile notary now.
I am.
Okay, so that means that if people needs a notary, they can contact you.
Absolutely.
So you wear multi hats then.
Absolutely.
So,
Yes.
and wearing the hats that you have, what's the most, what's the best one that you like the best, and which one is it that you like the least? If you can expound on that.
Wow, that's tough. I love being a mom. I love being a mom because I've got four, and all four personalities are completely different. So I'm going to say I like that one the most. The one that I like the least, I'm probably like just the go-to person for a lot of people, that I know that love me and that I love. And sometimes it gets a little overwhelming because everybody needs help and I love to help. And sometimes I'm helping too much to the point where I'm putting my stuff that I need to do for me on the back burner. So, but I've gotten better. I've learned how to say no. I've learned how to, just not, okay, if the phone buzzes, I'm not going to like jump to the phone. If somebody needs something, they'll send a text. So now I have my work and my personal life separate. So I've got a work phone and I've got my personal phone. A lot of my people that are nearest and dearest to me, they don't have my work number, but after this, they probably will. So they may start sending me messages like, hey, if she didn't answer.
So here's a question. If someone was interested in getting into the mortgage lending side, what would you tell them and how would you help them get to that point?
So you first need to take a class that is required for your state. For California, it is a 20-hour course. You can do in person, online. So there are different options, but you do need to complete the 20-hour course. Some of the programs, they do offer like an exam prep course to prep you for the NMLS exam. I said that was probably the hardest exam that I've ever taken. And I've taken different certification exams over the years for different things, even like the real estate course. I mean, I passed, like for Nevada, I passed national and national and state in the same day. So, but yeah, that NMLS exam, it's pretty beastie.
So now, not sure if you have your MLS, which means you could actually have your own brokerage.
Well, I have my license, so I do work under a mortgage banker. So I am partnered with a company.
Oh, so you partnered in.
Yes.
Okay, because I understand. Okay. I understand that it takes some time to be able to do a lot of things with the access that you have. And that's brilliant. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a commercial break right now. And when we come back, we'll be more back with Dafina. Thank you for listening to The Real Men of Real Estate.